This
For any of your
conference will
colleagues,
now be recorded.
for any of your colleagues that weren't able to attend today, we will be able to send them a link, no problem, and make sure that everybody gets a chance to see it. So I just want to get started before I hand it over to Rich by saying that we're very pleased with the announcement that we've been making. We've been doing quite a bit of advertising and letting everyone know that we have, in partnership with McWong, have introduced a new control system that is based on Bluetooth mesh protocol with advanced connectivity and functionality. So there's a lot of good things that Rich is going to tell you about, but I just wanted to let you know that we're making press releases and so on. This is the one I made on the Edison report on March 1st. We've had a lot of people coming to our website, checking it out, and really showing a lot of interest. So at this point, let me turn it over to Rich Matthews, who's going to take you through the slide deck, and we're going to talk about the control system. So I'm going to make Rich the presenter. One second. Wow, there's a lot of people. What happened to Rich?
I'm still here, Dave.
Okay. Hang on. Oh, I got you. Okay. Rich is now the presenter, and take it away, Rich.
Okay, let me get my screen set up here. All right, bear with me. Okay. All right. So again, if everyone could please mute their mic. I hear someone in the background. Thank you. So this slide deck will tell you about the new Bluetooth wireless control system that we have in cooperation with McWong. So I'll just jump into it. To give a little bit of background about McWong, they were founded in 1985. They are a certified women and minority-owned business, headquartered in Sacramento, California, so not too far away from our own headquarters in California. They have R&D, sales, support, logistics, both in the US and China. They are wholly owned China production facilities and Vietnam-based contract manufacturing. So what that means is that we can deliver a very cost-effective product as a result of being produced in Vietnam and owned in China. TrueBlue plus McWong. TrueBlue was the first commercially available comprehensive SIG qualified Bluetooth control platform. Now, first of all, what does SIG qualified mean? SIG means the special interest group created by Bluetooth to control the standards development of Bluetooth itself. So this is like the DLC equivalent, if you will. They were accepted into the 2018 IES for indoor control products, accepted in 2019 for outdoor control devices, and they are also DLC network light controlled certified. So you see at the bottom of the page the DLC logo. So very important, as we're all aware, for additional utility rebate dollars that might be available for controlled and connected LED fixtures. So why Bluetooth mesh as a connectivity technology? And this is where we're going to geek out a little bit. So this is a mature technology. This has been widely adopted for over the past 20 years, and there are over 36,000 member companies. Now, this is not your Bluetooth technology where you're trying to pair your phone to your car. This is a commercial grade, highly encrypted type of product that we're talking about here. So this is not your everyday Bluetooth. This is that and much, much more. Bluetooth published in July of 2017, and it's really a complement of 3 specifications. It enables many-to-many device communications. In other words, it's not point-to-point, but it is one product talking to another node, multiple communicating the same pathways, so there is no single point of failure. Therefore, it is optimized for large commercial lighting because of this mesh technology. It is also suitable for IoT backbone for smart buildings. So this will be able to provide information to control systems, monitoring, and automation systems.
Hey, Rich, if I could just interrupt for a second. Somebody's got either their mic or their cell phone open. We're getting some background noise and people coughing and so on. So if you could please mute your phone, mute your computer. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. So this page is very important. We're going to get a lot of questions about this from our customers about how secure is this technology. And we're still getting okay. Can everyone hear me? Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We're just getting
The feedback is too bad. I will have to drop off.
Okay. Okay, I think that did it. All right, so secure by design. Again, this is going to be very important. We're going to get a lot of questions about how secure is this protocol. So let's geek out a little bit. This is encrypted and authenticated at the network and application layers. So at the network level, that means packet forwarding through routers is secured. And at the application layer, that means the communication protocols between computers is also encrypted. The nodes themselves are provisioned with 256-bit elliptical curves. And what that means is basically that's a 256-bit encrypted public key. Next is out-of-band authentication. And what that means is this is a two-factor authentication that requires a secondary verification through a second communication channel. So that means like the two nodes might be speaking German, but they cannot be broken into because there's a second conversation happening at the same time that's in French. So it becomes very secure because it's two-factor authentication. And last is AES 128. And for those of you that are in the IT world, you know that that's advanced encrypted standard, and that's a 128-bit encryption key. So I think it's fair to say that there are many layers of security that goes into this that will protect it from being able to be hacked from the outside. All right, I don't know why this is not letting me page. Okay. It is also scalable by design. Again, as I talked about before, because this is a mesh, there's no single point of failure. Bluetooth by its design is also a high symbol transfer rate protocol, and it's communicating in very short bursts. So this creates a very strong communication path. It also creates a much wider communication path, so more data can pass through more quickly. That way, this will look good to the eye when a communication is given about dimming or raising light levels. You'll see a very smooth transition because the data is flowing very, very well between nodes. Additional advantages, as I said, this is an industrial grade wireless connectivity, not your everyday Bluetooth that everybody knows. It is interoperable by design. The way the Bluetooth SIG community works is once you're approved as part of that, that products from other companies can interoperate with the products that we would sell. So if someone wanted to put another competitor's product on the network and they were Bluetooth SIG qualified, their product would work. Again, it enables the creation of large-scale mesh networks by its definition, and it is peer-to-peer communication. The nodes themselves, from fixture to fixture, communicate directly across multiple paths. There is a gateway that is optional. We can talk about that later, but this will then give you the ability to do scheduling and reporting from an IoT standpoint. And again, there is no one single point of failure, because if one node fails, other nodes can communicate outside of that, despite the fact that the one node has failed. That's just the strength of the network. So for an overview, this is PC and iOS phone app for setup and commissioning. So it's a very simple PC tool and iOS app used to set up the system and then to program the system. Again, as I said, this is DLC Controls QPL listed. This does provide support for Title 24. What's really great about this system is it's not only indoor, but it is also outdoor applicable. We'll cover that in just a moment. And it's also future-proof. It uses the Bluetooth SIG standards, and again, can include other SIG standard devices. And as the protocol matures and changes over time, this will mature and change with that. So lighting controls made simple. We talked about the Bluetooth, but I want to remind everybody that we also have a very large portfolio of standalone lighting controls as well. So we've developed a really wide and deep product assortment that you can use for almost any control situation that you're going to come from. If you've been selling our products for a while, you're already familiar with what you see on the screen for indoor and outdoor. And you'll also know that these products can easily be provisioned by using the handheld remote on the right-hand side of the page. Additionally, there are more standalone controls that we use. We use these on a daily basis, whether it be PIR or RF or microwave. Again, it really is a great complement to the new Bluetooth controls that we are announcing today. So at a glance, this is designed to be simple, easy, and adaptable. It is domestically supported not only by McWong, but also ATG in California. This is DLC certified and SIG qualified, so it's the real deal. These are intelligent devices, so we have fixture controllers, occupancy sensors, daylight harvesting sensors, gateways, and Dave will cover all that with you in just a few moments. As far as software is concerned, very easy startup, very easy commissioning. It has great advanced control features, and again, can include anything from simple occupancy, vacancy, all the way to IoT readiness for energy monitoring. Applications, outdoor and indoor. So it's really great that we have a very simple product that can control outdoor fixtures. We'll cover that in a moment. Obviously for indoor, we've got ceiling. For outdoor, we've got pole mounted. We have wall switches with or without sensors. And typically these products can be mounted up to 40 feet and still have a very strong signal. The setup is very simple. We're not going to get into detail on that today. In fact, we're going to talk about additional training as we get to the end of this presentation. But I just wanted to point out something to you that I think is really cool. And that is you can take a floor plan. If you have a PDF version of the floor plan, you can convert that to JPEG, and then you can drop that into the software package, and it sets up everything automatically in the software package. So you can then put fixtures in each of the rooms that the JPEG has identified. So it makes it really simple to start to lay out your job and to determine where different fixtures should be based on the floor plan that you uploaded. So very cool. Implementation, again, a mobile iOS phone app can do all the field commissioning. So you can lay out your project using your laptop, and then your contractor can go into the field with his iPhone and simply walk around and provision all of the fixtures that were in the floor plan. The system locates all fixtures automatically. So when you fire this up, you don't have to load the fixtures yourself. It's all done. Very cool. Gives you a great head start to get it provisioned. And it also allows for predefined zones. So if you're working in a multifunction space, you can say, okay, area A is the warehouse, and all you have to do is click warehouse, and it already sets up parameters that will typically be used in a warehouse. So again, it makes it very easy, kind of a cookie cutter approach that you can also customize as you go. So Dave will cover the parts and pieces after this, and then we can talk about additional items toward the end of the presentation. So Dave, go ahead and take it away. And Dave, you may be muted, so you might want to check that.
How about now?
I
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you, Rich. All right, so let's take a look at the website real quick. We wanted to show you how this has been laid out. So first of all, you'll notice that we've redesigned our homepage so that now our LED Lighting Made Easy, basically slide that was, a singular slide has now become a slider. And we have 4 different slides. We have them moving fairly quickly, about every 5 to 6 seconds, so that if somebody's on the website, they can see pretty quick what's going on. And so we picked some of the most important components to show people, including the unit that shows mounted on a pole. So what's really cool, as Rich was mentioning, here's the slide right here. I'll hover on it. Oops. Let me get back. I'll hover on that. But let me see here real quick. This one. If you have a situation where the fixture really can't accept the sensor, if you guys could please mute.
What do we have? Go to our website. Yeah, I'm on your website.
Somebody is, I think it's Carrie Ann.
Pardon me?
Hi, Carrie Ann. Could you please mute your phone?
Yeah.
It's okay. Anyway, so if you have a situation where the fixture itself can't accept the sensor for whatever reason, we can mount these to a pole and you can still deliver it. So what this obviously indicates is that you can take your control strategy from the building to the to the parking lot or whatever. So anyway, we've integrated it in already into my project, and also we have a landing page which is dedicated. And so what we've done is we've basically got this into 2 pieces. The first piece being the Bluetooth mesh part of the landing page, and then as Rich was mentioning earlier, we do have a robust series of wireless lighting controls that are not Bluetooth mesh. So anyway, it's very easy to find them and it's very easy to see. Okay, now as far as the components, we are going to be having additional trainings because we realized that we could only scratch the surface here today, and I'll tell you about those in a minute. But for example, here is our Bluetooth dimming module that you would see on, for example, outdoor fixtures. This fits easily into, like our Archer or our area fixture. You can also use this on various kinds of high bays. This is a low voltage sensor, requires a low voltage power pack to deliver 12 volts to operate it. We do have another one that I really want to point out real quick, which is this PSC BLI. And this takes AC voltage, okay? We don't need a relay power pack to operate it. It takes AC voltage and then communicates with the driver and other Bluetooth sensors or nodes in the area. So this is, a great way to go, even though it is end mounted, because you eliminate some of the additional components. So for example, on the low voltage side, if the driver does not have a current sourcing lead, you would need our power pack, the PP700 here that I have. By the way, not every fixture needs to have a sensor, okay? You can have one sensor in an area and then install one of our wireless nodes, and it will receive communication on the network, the mesh network, and can operate. So no need to have a sensor on every fixture. But for those fixtures that are low voltage, we do need a way to supply 12 volts. And so we have a number of different ways to do it. For indoor fixtures like troughers and so on, panels, we do have these additional sensors that can go through the ceiling tile, or if it's a drywall ceiling, through drywall ceiling, they mount to it. And then we have two versions. One is basically just a bi-level sensor, but then we have bi-level with daylight harvesting. And so, by the way, on all of these fixtures, you can have sensors. You can have daylight harvesting, but in cases like for the warehouse and so on, it gets a little bit difficult with high bays, where it's more sophisticated. But so it's mainly a bi-level, if you will. In this case, with these sensors that we would use indoors, these when you commission them with the app, it's continuous, full continuous dimming. Okay, so it's not bi-level, just bi-level, it's continuous dimming. Conference rooms and so on, you can have just one wireless ceiling mount sensor that would communicate with a number of different fixtures, which would have the Bluetooth module. We supply also a number of switches, whether it's simply a dimmer switch or a dimmer switch with a motion sensor. So let's say that it's an office. Hey, we just have this particular device with the motion sensor, and then it's communicating wirelessly with the fixtures in the room, and there's no additional sensors. You just have the control module. So anyway, this is a great product offering. We're getting tons of interest and visits to our website. I did want to mention that yesterday we sent out the pricing on just the controls. Okay, so this should be in your inbox. If you didn't receive it, make sure you reach out to me and we'll make sure you get it. In the next couple of days, we'll be publishing our master price list, and the controls will be in there. So one of the things I was hoping to do, and this shouldn't go too much longer, is I wanted to, Rich made the point about rebates, okay? So we have made a switch from the rebate bus to bright switch, okay? Now, why is this important? Because, most utilities, if you're trying for rebates, they're going to have a two-tier system. One is going to be for, say, high base. The other one would be for high base with control. So if we wanted to go down and take a look at, let me see if I can go back real quick. And let's take a look at high base. What we've done is we've embedded the bright switch tool on our landing pages and data sheets. Now, you can see the way this operates. I'm getting a lot of feedback, so excuse me. But anyway, it takes you through a chat process in the beginning. And it makes it really intuitive. So it says, welcome to Rebate Assistant. I'm going to help you. All I need is some basic information, and we can start to load it in there. So let's say it's a warehouse application. So it's looking now. Okay, it's going to start to take that. You can search by state. So let's say we want to do Massachusetts. We know that there's strong rebates there, so I'll use that as an example. So now it's thinking. Let's choose a utility. Eversource is one of the major ones. And hey, good news. Look at this. We've got rebates available. So it's thinking a little bit more. Now it's going to say, what type of product would you like to find rebates for. So even though I started with the high bay, it's going to show you all the different ones that Eversource has. So let's stick with the high bay for a minute. Hey, is it linear or round? Well, this is round. And what's the most popular wattage? Yeah, usually it's around 150 watt. So I'm going to click on this. So now it's got all this information. It's taking you through, and it says, okay, you want a round high bay. Which one are you going to choose? And let's say we're going to choose our new Gen 3. I'll select that, 150 watt. Now it's thinking more. And now this is where it gets interesting about it asks, are these replacing new or existing? Is this going to be new or existing? So you say, hey, this is a retrofit project. So then it's going to eventually say, okay, controls or no controls. So the answer is yes. And then let's say, there's 100 fixtures in this warehouse application. It's going to calculate it. It says, hey, wow, based on what you've put in, looks like you could have a $15,000 rebate. And then it closes the loop, and this is how we get the information to you and how we actually get this to generate revenue. Is it says, since rebates for commercial lighting are very complicated, it's a good idea to have someone manually double check. And so they ask you, if you'd like to verify the rebates, a transcript of this chat will be sent to BrightSwitch for an analyst, and they'll email you back within 1 day. And so you can essentially send this through. It's going to go to an analyst. They're going to say, hey, number one, you can verify the rebate. Number two, how do I get the rebate? Number three, number four, and then you can end the chat. And so then you'll be contacted within 24 hours, and we will be able to walk anybody through the actual process of getting the rebate. So that's important, and I wanted to show you that. So BrightSwitch is our new rebate tool. It's really cool. And so let me just say real quick, as we get near the end of the rebate or of the presentation, is that once again, the pricing was sent out yesterday. You should have that. The second thing is that, we've laid it out on the website very clearly. And by the way, a lot of the advertising we're doing is really making a big difference, not only on Edison Report, but also on Google. We are buying Google AdWords. We're advertising on LinkedIn. We're driving tons of traffic to our website, which in turn will come back to you. Now, since we really just scratched the surface today, what we wanted to tell you about was that we will have 3 additional training webinars over the next 3 weeks. Now, I hope you can attend. We will send you the link for each of these, but at the same time, just like today, we will be recording. But these are important if you're going to sell this. And the first one will be next week, same time, same station, and we're going to get into the application guide and some case studies. Okay? The following week, on the 8th, we'll get into project planning. We'll do a deep dive, 30-minute deep dive on project planning. And then finally, on the 15th, it's commissioning. And so all these different segments will be covered in detail so that basically we can do a real good job of getting everybody up to speed and so on. So essentially, that's what we have today. I'm going to go ahead and open it up for questions, and I'll unmute everybody. If you want to ask a question or you want to type one in the box, that's great. So everybody should be unmuted. If I can get this to work. Unmuted. Okay. Does anybody have any additional questions? I see that Rich has been answering up to 7 different questions in the chat box. But if anybody wants to ask a question verbally, that's great too.
Hey, David, this is Daryl, Luma Sales. Is all the product in stock right now?
It is available on short notice. As Rich was mentioning, the McLong facility is actually in Sacramento. So what we'll be doing is, they'll be doing the inventorying, and ultimately we will too. But all the pricing and all these products come installed. So that's the good news. We just will have the parts handy, and then based on your order, we will install them at Montclair, and then it'll be shipped complete.
Okay. So what's the turnaround time from order to shipping?
Well, it'd be similar to installing EM packs or sensors of the general nature. So anywhere up to 7 days, depending on the backlog in assembly.
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure. Any other questions? Well, I have to say that I'm very pleased today with the turnout. I know some people have dropped off, but I think this was our best webinar ever. We had over 90 attendees, and I know that some of you have colleagues in the room. So awesome. Thank you so much for coming. And I hope that you can join us next week, over the next 3 weeks, as we drill down on how to actually do it yourself, and you can talk to your customers and contractors. Unless there's any other questions, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.
Can you flash those dates up again for the webinar?
Oh, sure. Sure. It's going to be 3 weeks in a row.
Okay, all on Thursday. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
All at the same time?
Okay. One after the other. On the first, we're going to cover applications and case studies. On the 8th, the following week, we'll get into the project planning. And then finally, the commissioning. And there'll be PowerPoints. By the way, this PowerPoint will be made available that Rich covered. And they'll all be recorded, plus you'll have a PowerPoint that I can get to you.
So like all at 10:30 each week?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Well, it's 8:30 Pacific time.
Yeah,
Okay.
10:30. Correct.
Thanks, Rich.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks again to everybody. Have a great rest of your day. And please let us know, send us your quote requests, send us your jobs, and we're going to make this a fantastic balance of the year. Thank you for attending. Take care.